Hi, welcome back to Regent Park TV. My name is Fred and my co-hosts are Kedar, Jabin, and Victoria. We present news that impacts on Regent Park and the surrounding areas.
In this episode, we present the following news for the week December 23rd to December 30th, 2022. City of Toronto announces the recipients of the 2022 Regent Park SDP Grant and conditionally allocates 2023 funds. In memory of Barbara Helen Castledine. In memory of Christian Yombo. Report of Changing Cultures of Regent Park, a multimedia final exhibition. Healing as One celebrates the FIFA World Cup final. Advocates calls for more access to warning centres. Toronto City Council approves 2023 Housing Action Plan for the 2022 and 2026 term of Council. COVID-19 and vaccination updates. City of Toronto extends COVID-19 vaccine engagement teams to March 2023. Events, trainings, and jobs.
City of Toronto announces the recipients of 2022 Regent Park SDP Grant and conditionally allocates 2023 funds. The Regent Park Social Development Plan, commonly referred as the SDP, is a community-wide initiative aimed at fostering social inclusion and cohesion. The plan revolves around 4 priority areas: community building, safety, employment and economic development, and communications. The City of Toronto provides funding in the amount of $500,000 yearly to support the priority areas of the SDP. In previous years, funding decisions were made by community members of the SDP in partnership with the city. For the 2022 funding year, funding recommendations were made by a small review panel comprised of residents of the Regent Park community. On December 12, 2022, the City of Toronto's Community Funding Unit announced the recipients of 2022 Regent Park Social Development Plan Grant. According to the announcement, 26 proposals were submitted, funding totaling $1.8 million. Out of these project proposals, 8 proposals were approved for the 2022 SDP funding.
2022 SDP recommendations. Toronto Football Athletic Advancement, with the Centre of the Social Innovation as the trustee, was awarded $66,125. This project will work with the local youth council to create and expand accessible sports programs for local youth, especially girls and young women. This project will engage with more than 38 local female participants. It will also create local partnership as well as volunteer and employment opportunities for Regent Park residents.
Filipinos in Regent Park Community Group, trusted by Seas, was awarded $12,760. The purpose of this project is to build the capacity of the Filipinos in the Regent Park Community Group, to sustain our activities and expand in order to build unity and uplift the well-being of every Filipino in Regent Park.
The Center for Social Innovation was awarded $58,000 in partnership with the Community Building Working Group. This project will catalog spaces in the community and find ways to unlock them for residents' use. The project will organize community events to bring residents together and build bridges, particularly between Market and Toronto community housing residents.
Happy Mother, Happy Children, trusteed by Neighborhood Information Post, was awarded $70,102. This project is designed to assist students from 4 to 10 years old in the Regent Park community with their homework. A group of locally hired tutors will assist students with reading, writing, math, science, and other school assignments.
The Street Haven at the Crossroads was awarded $100,000. This project will focus on Regent Park residents and will provide wraparound services for highly vulnerable women, including shelter services, emergency hotel services, supporting housing, mental health and addiction support, treatment services, and pre-employment support services.
The Regent Park Women's Entrepreneur Group, trusteed by the Centre for Social Innovation, was awarded $65,676. The For Women by Women project will support women in the community by helping them develop, plan, and market their businesses to other residents living in the neighborhood through various initiatives. It will provide support through peer mentorship, business coaching, training, and business supports. The leaders of this group are diverse women entrepreneurs in Regent Park with support from the SDP Employment and Economic Development Committee.
Focus Media Arts Center was awarded $65,132 for Regent Park TV. This project will create at least 35 productions of the Regent Park News, recruit and train local residents to provide audio, technical, live streaming broadcast support to the SDP for all major meetings and events.
Toronto Birth Centre was awarded $70,620. The project will build and develop a greater sense of community and belonging to improve relationships and responsiveness to the needs of the Regent Park community. The total awarded funds for 2022 amounted to $508,415. In a follow-up email sent by Daniela Costello, the SDP was informed that in addition to the 8 projects selected for 2022, the Community Funding Unit made a decision to conditionally approve another 7 projects amounting to $509,660 using SDP funding earmarked for the 2023 funding year. According to the release, this decision was made to address the overwhelming response received in the 2022 call for applications. In a follow-up emergency meeting of the SDP Planning Committee held on Thursday, December 22nd, several members of the SDP expressed their frustration and concerns about the city's lack of consultation and transparency in unilaterally deciding to conditionally allocate the 2023 SDP funds. Other members expressed concerns over some of the groups that were funded and whether their projects are truly aligned with the priorities of the SDP. A SDP Planning Committee meeting has been called for Thursday, January 12th at 1 p.m. over Zoom to discuss SDP concerns over the 2022 and 2023 funding with the City of Toronto Community Funding Unit.
In memory of Barbara Helen Castledine, RPTV extends its deepest condolences to the family, loved ones, and friends of Regent Park resident Barbara Helen Castledine, who recently passed away from cancer. Barbara Helen Castledine was born in Ottawa, October 28, 1964. She was raised in Port Perry, Brampton, and Toronto. Barbara was a 23-year resident of Regent Park and was involved in multiple community-based organizations and initiatives. Among these activities were working as a secretary for the Regent Park Church, Vertical Parent Watch, and she volunteered at 407 Gerrard Street East, working with the community garden, helping out newcomers. As a single mother, Barbara at times struggled with poverty, but she was determined to get out of poverty. She took courses with the Yonge Street Mission in merchandise and retail, and went on to find employment with Double Take and the local Dollarama on Parliament Street. In 2017, she got her training to work as a security guard, which she loved doing until she received her cancer diagnosis in 2020, just after she moved to 150 River Street with her daughter, Kaylin. While living at 150 River Street, Barbara became the tenant representative. She started a petition to help to bring a gym for the residents. As well, Barbara worked on changes to the street, parking at River and Dundas Street. The previous conditions had made navigating the intersection extremely dangerous. Additionally, Barbara advocates to revitalize the Oak Street Parkette, and she participated in Bring Shoes to the Queen Park Memorial in remembrance of the 250 children's grave found in British Columbia in 2015. In 2021, while attending a demonstration at Lambton Stadium in support of homeless people camping out in the stadium, Barbara was injured while she was trampled by a Toronto Police Service police horse. Barbara was a prominent figure in the Regent Park community and life partner Miguel Avila Velarde, also a well-known Regent Park personality. Barbara passed away from cancer on. From all of us at Regent Park TV, our heart and sincere condolences goes out to Miguel and friends and family of Barbara Castledine. We will miss her.
In memory of Christian George Yombo. It's with our deepest condolences that we announce that recent passing of Christian Yombo. Born in Cameroon, studied at Central African Republic, he traveled to France where he met his wife. He moved to Montreal in 1987. and a few years later moved to Toronto in 1990. He was responsible for the Community Centre for African French-speaking people in Regent Park, where he offered help with homework to French students and help with snacks for the community. He had a bachelor's degree in political science, a second bachelor's degree in education from the University of Ottawa, and a master's degree from Quebec. In 2010, his son Nicholas Yamo, 18, who had become involved with drugs and gangs, was shot and killed in Regent Park. Christian Yombo was also known as George. George was involved with Focus Media Arts, previously known as Regent Park Focus Youth Media Arts Center, producing a series of videos for La Francophone. Christian Yambo passed away on November 20th, 2022 at St. Joseph Hospital. He left behind 6 children, 5 in Canada and 1 in Cameroon, and also a grandson.
Report of Changing Cultures of Regent Park, a multimedia final exhibition. On December 8th, 2022, the University of Toronto and the Focus Media Arts Centre celebrated their 3rd annual collaboration together by presenting a multimedia exhibition of the course Changing Cultures of Regent Park. Throughout the fall of this year, Focus Media Arts Centre and the University of Toronto teamed up with U of T Urban Studies students and Regent Park residents to conduct research and build an understanding of the neighborhood's dynamic history of immigration, housing, public health crisis, and community organizing. The 12-week course was led by Professor Aditi Mehta. On December 8th, course participants celebrated their learnings by presenting a multimedia exhibition of the work. The multimedia event was held on the 3rd floor of the Daniel Spectrum Center at 585 Dundas Street East. Course participants celebrated their learnings by presenting exhibits featuring overviews of their research, some of which involved videos and radio clips of Regent Park community members they interviewed. Each participant involved in the course received a course certificate as well as a stipend. RPTV News was at the event. Let's hear what about their work.
One of the aims of the project was to create a multimedia presentation about the work that they have been doing. And so, and part of Focus' role was to support them in any way we can by, with our staff members, by providing equipment, whatever resources they need in terms of that. So again, Focus is pleased to have been part of it, and I'm really pleased to have you all here today to witness the presentations that have been going on.
This is a collaboration between University of Toronto and Focus Media Arts, and I should say my name's Aditi Mehta. I'm an assistant professor of urban studies at University of Toronto. And in my field of urban studies, Regent Park, this neighborhood, is a very, very trendy neighborhood to study, as many of you know. And actually, I'm fairly new to Toronto. I just moved here in 2018. And when I came in 2018, everybody was talking about Regent Park and the redevelopment process. And so I started reading all about it. And while I was reading all about it, what I read didn't fully match what I saw when I came to the neighborhood. This really multicultural, robust, interesting place. And so I was interested to learn more about what was going on here, and I learned about Focus Media Arts and this community media organization that was constantly reporting and telling the stories of everyone that lived here. And I thought, what a great opportunity to help urban studies students gain a new and different perspective about the redevelopment than what's always written about in academic articles or the media. So that began a partnership in 2018 between the two organizations. And as Adonis said, the first 2 iterations of the course were with young people, a young women's group called the Diva Girls. And in this 3rd iteration of the course, we decided, let's try it out with some adult residents who actually, many of whom are in the class, are really involved, amazing organizers and leaders and part of this redevelopment change organizing process. So we were very, very lucky to have them all in the class, and we all learned a lot from them. And the U of T students brought their knowledge and training in urban studies to the room, and the Regent Park residents brought all their lived experience, leadership experience, all of their organizing work to the classroom. And together we learned about the history of the neighborhood. And we covered topics such as housing, immigration, organizing, COVID-19. And then what happened is that 3 groups formed around very different and interesting topics, which you'll learn about. And the groups were a combination of residents and undergraduate students. And together they embarked on these research projects. And you'll see them and hear about them today, and they're really exciting.
We wanted to interview various members of the Regent Park community who played a large role in immigration, worked with immigrants, were immigrants themselves, took part in helping immigrants, and understand just the difficulty of starting over. And so while our residents will introduce these wonderful people who are a massive, massive part of our project, and we appreciate all of them dearly, I just quickly wanted to talk about why we thought it was important to interview people. So as Tanishka mentioned, one of our goals was to let immigrants tell their own narrative. And so within Regent Park, oftentimes people will be asked for their stories and they won't have a voice after that. They'll be used for information that goes into a paper or an article that never really gets told by their own first-person narrative. So one of our goals within our website was to ensure that you heard it from their mouths. So there is both a video and a reading component to our website in which you can either choose to hear the immigrants or read our summary of their immigration story. And we're really happy that all these people were able to find some success at the end of their story.
So the main focus of our project was safety, especially with regards to revitalization. We started with the idea of crime and more specifically gang violence in Regent Park, but as we started researching, we found that it was almost too specific. In a lot of cases, a lot of this information isn't super available. So ultimately, our research question was, how has redevelopment changed perceptions of safety in Regent Park? And so we put together a little story map, and we had a couple of different things that we wanted to consider going into it. So we did a quick literature review, what do we already know, and then we conducted some interviews with residents and with experts in the community about how had they experienced crime and danger and also safety in Regent Park.
As many of you know, there's a really negative preconception about Regent Park. The media portrays them in a very bad light, but for our group members, we wanted to ask them how they felt before coming to the neighborhood.
As revitalization continued, crime rates went up, which we found really odd, and that was not something we were expecting to find. We're still not 100% sure why. There's a lot of reasons why that might have happened. Some of it might be due to COVID. We found there is research showing that COVID was related to a spike in crimes and then a sudden drop. And then things are kind of normalizing now as people come back as society opens back up. One of the things that we've also considered was that there were positives and negatives to redevelopment in terms of crime. On one hand, opening up the street grid, allowing a lot more visibility and space and lighting has been really, really helpful. On the other hand, it might disrupt social networks and make people feel more isolated. So there's a few different factors. But the other thing that we noticed was that while crime rates may not have moved in the direction that we thought, people felt safer now. And a lot of that is due to physical changes. We've learned a lot through this project. Of course, there's the kind of more quantitative, crime rates went up, people's perceptions of safety also went up. I think the other big thing that we all learned is that research is hard. Research is hard. It is sometimes really frustrating, and sometimes you find stuff that just doesn't, that you didn't expect to find. We weren't expecting to find those sorts of statistics. We also weren't expecting to change our research question as many times as we did as the data changed. But part of researching is being flexible and learning to go where your learning takes you.
And now Kedar has a report on the Healing as One celebration of the FIFA World Cup final.
On December 18, 2022, Healing as One hosted a screening of the FIFA World Cup finals between Argentina and France in the Daniel Spectrum building on the 3rd floor. Healing as One is a grassroots initiative in the Regent Park that was created to inspire and capture the hearts of communities. This organization also provides safe space for youth in Regent Park. More than 80 residents of Regent Park attended the screening of the FIFA World Cup finals. Snacks and food were provided by Healing as One for the residents attending the screening. The space was provided by Artscape, and Argentina won the finals and Messi solidified his greatest of all time status in the world of soccer.
Advocates call for more access to warming centres. Despite a winter storm rolling into the GTA, warming centres for Toronto's unhoused population almost did not open Thursday night on December 22. Currently, warming centres are activated only if temperature falls below -15 degrees Celsius, without wind chills, or -20 with the wind chill, the point at which an extreme cold weather alert. Advocates begin calling for warming centres to open as early as Monday, with the city announcing Thursday morning that warming centres would open Friday night. That means that people will have been outside for over 24 hours in the rain, in the cold. People will have been freezing for a day before there's any options of an indoor warming space, said Lauren Lamb from Shelter and Housing Justice Network. By Thursday afternoon, the Toronto Board of Health said they had expressed their concerns to city staff and asked that options for warming centres be made available immediately.
Toronto City Council approves 2023 Housing Action Plan for the 2022 to the 2026 term of council. Toronto City Council approved the 2023 Housing Action Plan on December the 14th, 2022. The new housing plan for the 2022-2026 term of council focuses on getting more homes built or made available in Toronto as quickly as possible, while also making housing more affordable. The approved 2023 Housing Action Plan will begin the process of updating the City of Toronto's planning rules and regulations to meet or exceed the target of building 285,000 homes over the next 10 years. The new 2023 Housing Action Plan is taking an aggressive, immediate approach to address the housing affordability and homelessness crisis facing the City of Toronto today. Through the plan, Council has directed staff to amend, review, and introduce new and more effective bylaws, enhance and update existing housing system policies. The new 2023 Housing Action Plan is taking an aggressive, immediate approach to address the housing affordability and homelessness crises facing the city today. Through the plan, Council has directed staff to amend, review, and introduce new and more effective bylaws, enhance and update existing housing system policies. This new Housing Action Plan advances the comprehensive Housing TO 2020 to 2030 Action Plan, Housing TO Plan, which provides a blueprint for action across the full housing spectrum, from emergency shelters to rentals to ownership homes.
COVID-19 and vaccination update. City of Toronto extends COVID-19 vaccine engagement teams to March 2023. The City of Toronto is extending the operation of its COVID-19 vaccine engagement teams until the end of March 2023, ensuring continued support for COVID-19 vaccine equity and access for all residents. The VATs operate across the city in 17 geographic and population-based consortiums made up of more than 150 health, community, and faith-based organizations. This includes more than 720 community ambassadors who reflect the diversity of Toronto's equity, deserving groups, and have roots in the communities where they work to build trust and help residents learn about the importance of COVID-19 and flu vaccination. Since the program's launch in March 2021, the vets have spent more than 136,000 hours building vaccine confidence. Vets continue to help people navigate the COVID-19 vaccine registration system and find a vaccine clinic in the neighborhood with door-to-door visits, community events, phone calls, online social media campaigns, and virtual events. The vaccine engagement team's funding was extended twice since the initiative first launched in March 2021. The first extension occurred in January 2022 and the second in July 2022. The current extension ensures that this vital work continues beyond this calendar year to the end of March 2023. Vaccine and wellness clinics in the neighborhood. Wellness clinic at 200 Wesley Street East, The Corner, on Tuesdays from 1:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Walk-ins welcome. Cold flu COVID-19 testing and treatment clinic at 40 Oak Street, Regent Park, CHC, every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Walk-ins only. And Wellness Hub at 40 Oak Street, Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. Appointments recommended. Walk-ins accepted.
Events, trainings, and jobs in Regent Park. Regent Park skating event on Friday, December 30th, 2022 from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Regent Park Ice Rink, 480 Shooter Street. Hope to see you there. Zero invites you to join a New Year's Eve celebration with Zero non-alcoholic cocktails, wine, and drinks on December 31st, 10 p.m. at 585 Dundas Street East, Daniel Spectrum. There will be live music with Jay Smooth on SAC, DJ 80s and 90s music. Get tickets scanning the QI code. Do you have nothing else to do during the winter break? Are you in middle school? Do you want to go on fun trips? Join the Winter Resilience Program, grades 7 to 8. You have to reside in Regent Park or Moss Park. Be a TCHC resident and be available Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday over the winter break. Activities will include trips to Sky Zone and more, interactive workshops, free food and snacks, and mentorship. Join at dearfutureme@gmail.com or scan the QI code. Training opportunities in Regent Park. Join the Academic Upgrading and Digital Technology Foundations program. Center of Learning and Development brings you online free classes starting January 23rd, with classes running from Tuesday to Thursdays at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. from the Academic Upgrading and Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Apply now. For more information, contact 647-493-2462 or write info@tccld.org. And that was all for today's show. My name is Jabin and my co-hosts are Victoria, Fred, and Kedar. We also like to thank our team of researchers that contributed for this week's show and from our studios at Focus Media Arts Center. Thanks for watching and see you next week.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out all of our social media platforms. For more information, check out our website.